takes a journey to tame the wild. The one bound by ground and sky, and the one whose boundaries can be found only in the mind. Hitting the target starts with setting your sights on a trophy whose value comes in the journey. When the horizon seems infinite, but your possibilities even greater. An expedition that requires running to the elements, not away. Because in each of us lives a hunter, and in every hunter, an athlete. Run2Gun.
Run2Gun is brought to you exclusively by Gun Up the Magazine. Welcome to Run2Gun, where hunting meets athletics. I'm Jordan Miller. The past several weeks we have been dealing with extreme cold and some rough weather on all of our hunts, and this week is no different. As we set out to pursue our late season doe tags, our focus and toughness will be tested, to say the least.
This is rough, man.
Stay with us. When we come back, Caleb Giddings of Gun Up is back, and we're taking our workout out to the range to tie in some shooting drills with some exercises that's going to help you get into your shooting positions faster and with ease. I'm Jordan Miller, and you're watching Run2Gun. Well, we're out at the shooting range today, aka my gym. I'm trying to show you guys how I can integrate some workouts outside of the gym and get in shape, but also to take those workouts, become a better shooter. So my first workout and exercise I want to show you is a burpee and how it integrates in to become a better prone shooter. So hitting my first burpee, I'm gonna show you how it integrates my entire body, my shoulders, my chest, my core, and my legs, and of course the heart rate. So I'm dropping down, hitting my push-up, right back up and up. You can see after I hit a few of those, how it does train the heart rate as well as all the muscles I just talked about in my body. Now Caleb's gonna turn on and show you how it's gonna integrate completely with holding a weapon and getting down to shoot your animal or shoot your game.
All right, you can start with the rifle in any position, in a low ready, hip pocket position, wherever you need to be carrying it. I like to start from a low ready. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drive the gun out like this, drop my support hand, kick my legs out, and come down into that prone position. I can disengage any safeties, fingers on the trigger, and I'm ready to fire the second I land. If I need to get up in a hurry to chase something I've just shot, I just reverse the motion. Again, I'm gonna plant that support hand, kick up, bring the rifle back up, and I'm already back on the move.
Just like a burpee.
Just like a burpee.
Awesome. All right, well, our second exercise I want to show you today is a kettlebell deep squat and how it relates to getting down to a seated position. So I got my 30-pound kettlebell today. I'm just gripping it as so. I have a nice firm grip on it. My feet are shoulder width apart, and I'm thinking about good positive form. My core is engaged, my butt's going straight back, my shoulders are staying back, and my elbows are dropping straight to my knee. And I'm popping up, squeezing my glutes at the top. So I'm getting nice and deep into that squat and back down, training it the exact same way I would drop down into a seated position. So Caleb.
Absolutely. It's the same idea. Again, I've got my rifle in about the same position that your kettlebell was at. Now this is a little bit lighter than 30 pounds, so I maybe don't need to shift my weight as much, but the idea is the same. If I need to take a rapid seating position, all I need to do is drop down like I'm going into a squat, and then if I maybe want to save my tailbone, I can tuck a knee a little bit and roll. But if you're young and you're in decent shape, all you have to do is take that low squat and then rock back and plant your hand a little bit if you're sitting down on something hard. But then you notice your knees go from pointed out for the squat to a seated position, and now I have a good rest for my gun, and it's really easy for me to take a shot.
You're nice and stable, you're gonna be ethical shot.
Absolutely.
You're gonna knock that animal down quick.
Yep.
So we showed you the burpees, we showed you the deep squats. Third one I have for you today is a kettlebell hip thruster and how it ties in to getting up ready for your standard shooting position. So again, my kettlebell. This one, I'm not thinking of a squat, I'm thinking more of a deadlift form. My glutes go straight back. I'm keeping a nice firm core and a sturdy lower back. So my forearm connects with my thigh. I come in, I thrust my hip forward. I'm squeezing my glutes at the top. I'm not just carrying the weight with my shoulder. It is a momentum kick up from the hips. So Caleb, show us how that's going to tie right in to getting into shooting position.
You bet. This is the most basic shooting position of them all. This is a standing shooting position. Imagine you're walking along, you're tracking an animal, you see something out of your peripheral vision, and you need to get your head up and get the gun up in a hurry. So what you're going to do is your head's going to come up and the gun's going to follow straight up to that. And you can see I'm not just waving the gun with my arms. As I bring the gun, I'm actually using my lower body to drive myself into position so the gun comes on target faster.
That's almost a perfect mimic of that exercise. I mean, perfect. It's going to make you a better and a more efficient shooter.
Absolutely. Speed is everything, and when you're just using your arms, you're not going as fast as if you're using your whole body.
Well, Caleb, thanks for having us out at your range today and showing the viewers how we can integrate our exercises with your proper shooting techniques. Now, if the viewer wants to learn more about the techniques, where can they find you?
You can check us out at gunupthemagazine.com or gunnuts.net for more information on shooting techniques and news on the shooting sports.
Awesome. And if you guys want to learn more about workouts, visit us or email me at run2gun.com or visit our Facebook page. Don't go away. Late December leads us to some nasty winds and bitter cold weather, and of course, lots and lots of does.
Well, I'm about ready to take off for our doe hunt here. We're in central South Dakota, and it's late December, but I wanted to share with you guys what I take in supplementation-wise before I go out on big hunts or big hikes. I've been using the Enduro Max from Max Muscle all season long. I even use it down in New Mexico. I'll put it in my drinking pack, in my backpack on hikes. But the reason I take it is it helps me replenish the electrolytes. It helps me get in the fluids I need. Also, I get in a good quality antioxidant source and amino acid source before and during when I'm working out or on these big hikes. And it gives me a little bit of caffeine. There's not a high amount, but just a little bit to help with the energy. And it's just a very good product. The one thing I really like about it though is it follows the American College of Sports Medicine's guidelines, so I know it's safe to take in. So I'm just gonna throw in a scoop here before I go out on the hunt. And I just use one scoop. The serving size is 2. If I'm going on a long hike, I'll use 2 scoops, but today's a shorter one. So I'm just using one, throw it in. Now, what I also do is I throw in, so that's the Enduro Max from Max Muscle. It's a pretty awesome product. The other one I throw in is the Max Pro BCAAs. Now, BCA stands for branched chain amino acid. Now, the branched chain amino acids are naturally occurring. We take them in when we eat meat, but the reason I take in a supplement of the branched chain amino acid is I take it in pre-workout, post-workout, also before on these big hikes. What it does is it helps prevent the catabolism within the muscle. So that's breaking the muscle down, using it as energy, and that's the one thing we don't want to happen. I work really hard in the gym to build the muscles. I don't want to be out for most of the day where I'm taking in less nutrients. I don't want my body to turn to the muscles as energy, so I don't want the muscles to be broken down. So I take in a scoop or 2 of this pre-workout and post, and I just mix it in with my Enduro Max and make myself a nice little drink. I also know that I'm going to be taking in 16-20 ounces of water right before I go out on this hike too, so I know I'm going to be getting a little extra hydration. And a lot of times I'll just throw a couple scoops of that in a baggie and take it out in the field with me, and like I said, mix it on the go if I'm needing a little bit of pick me up. So pretty awesome product. I'll let the foam settle a little bit here, but I'll drink that out almost always before I go on a big hike. So Max Muscle is an awesome product. The reason I like them so much too is I just feel safe taking the product in. I know they follow the right guidelines. I'm getting the right amounts of nutrients I need. Well, it's December 28th. It is the opening morning of the late season doe hunt here in central South Dakota. The rifle buck is over, and the weather's just been crazy this month. It's been up and down. It's been negative 20s, and then we're up in the upper 30s today, but the wind's picking up here a little bit, so it's cooling back down. It's supposed to be a high of 4 tomorrow, so we'd love to fill these doe tanks today, so let's get after it. little bit of a weather change from this morning, if you can even hear me, because the wind is blowing almost 60 miles an hour gusts. It is opening day of the late season doe here in central South Dakota. And we got a big old herd of deer up here, so we're hoping we can go pick one off, but the wind is insane, so I can barely breathe. It's blowing in my mouth so fast, but let's go knock this out. I can't breathe, man. This is rough. We got about 800 yards to close this gap. This is tough. That might be one of my most rewarding does right there. This is rough, man. Just spent the last 10 or 15 minutes just trying to get steady enough, breaking the doe, making sure it was a doe, and the wind's went up to 60 mile an hour gust, well below zero with the wind chill. That was rough. The wind's blowing right in our face, but we smacked her. We got her down, so let's go out there and let's get the job done. It is freezing. Where's my bow? I know this interview is probably pointless because you can't hear us. It is so windy out, but we're looking for my doe. She got up and ran a little bit with the other ones when after I shot her. But we got a blood trail here in the old snow, so we're just gonna keep tracking. We'll find her at the end of it, hopefully. Well, I shot my doe tonight in this crazy wind. But after I got over there, I followed the blood trail for over 200 yards, and then the blood ran out. I looked for my doe, we couldn't find her. It was getting kind of dark, so we opted to come back and not push her off the field, and we'll go back in the morning and find her. All right. Well, we found our doe that we shot yesterday afternoon on December 28th. It was the opening morning of the late season doe season here in South Dakota, but I knew we'd come back in and find her today. It was just getting a little dark on us last night, and we didn't want to push her off the small field we're hunting. So a little bit warmer today. It's -5, a little bit warmer, but no wind. So we're glad we got her down and filled some space in the freezer with some good quality meat. So thanks for watching. You're watching Run2Gun TV.
I was able to get my doe down and found. And when we come back, my brother Matthew and cameraman Younger have their chances to get behind the rifle and fill their doe tags. Run2Gun is brought to you exclusively by Gun Up the Magazine. Mud Mile Communications. Ramkota Hotels of South Dakota. Max Muscle Sports Nutrition. Fitness 19 Sioux Falls, where you can afford to get fit. Range Country, Murdo, South Dakota. Fellowship of Christian Sportsmen Plus. DoGooders.com, where we do dog poo. Custer State Park Resort in Custer, South Dakota. Welcome back to Run2Gun. The second day of late season doe in western South Dakota puts my brother Matthew and cameraman Younger behind their rifles. My brother is 9 for 9 in his lifetime on shooting deer. Let's see if he can keep his streak alive.
So that would have been my my 10th deer to make it 10 for 10, 10 shells, 10 deer for all my career here. And I've been talking big all day about it and just choked her out.
Choke. That's all right.
So 9 for 9 is what it is.
Well, finally put one down. At 297 yards, she hit the dirt hard. Finally, after the first day of the season, late season here in central South Dakota, I shot 7 times and couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, but I got it accomplished. Now we're just trying to get this kid one. Now that he can't go 10 for 10 and he's 9 for 9, I think he chose to use our gun this time, and he's gonna see if he can put a doe down. Hey, we just got up here and got my doe. Wasn't too hard of a tracking job. She dropped dead on the spot. I mean, in the last few days, we've been out here hunting deer, hunting does this late season, and there's been 100 deer out on that field. And man, deer can really take a toll on farmers out here. They destroy bales, they destroy property. I think most farmers kind of do appreciate that we are getting rid of some deer. And as hunters, that's why we come out here. I mean, we love to put the meat in the freezer, and sure does make a good ending to a long deer season to have a doe down and put a little more meat in the freezer.
Well, we're in the late season of doe here in central South Dakota, and it's late December, early January is when the season runs. I'm out with my little brother and Younger, and we took 2 doe this weekend. Matthew still got his to fill, but these late season hunts are very enjoyable for us. But it's kind of like our workouts. You get to certain times of the year, or the late part of the year, when it's hard to get the workouts in, and you really got to stay focused on, your health. Just like we stay focused on, finish up the year strong with these little hunts, but they mean a lot to us. You got to be thinking the same way with your workouts. Every little one counts. It might be a lighter weight workout, and you might not be as tired as normal from it, but you have to look big picture and remember the purpose of everything, and see farther down the line, see the big picture on why we're training. And not every single workout's gonna be the same. We're gonna periodize it. So some workouts are gonna be heavier weights, some workouts are gonna be lighter weights, some are gonna be more intense, less intense, longer duration. And that's what we're looking at of these workouts, but everyone can't be the same, just like none of our hunts are the same. So that's why we're out here today. It's a good late season reminder of what we're trying to do for the big picture here with some doe management.
On our walk back to the pickup, we run into one more doe, and this time, Matthew wasn't going to miss it.
Alright, so I wasn't really expecting to get my doe today, considering I missed a couple shots earlier in the afternoon, but me and my brother went to go get the truck for Younger and his doe, and we got about halfway there and we saw this doe sitting in this field here. So I got out and stalked her a little bit and got a clean shot on her. Now my brother got his deer last night and recovered it this morning. Younger got his deer this afternoon, and now I got mine with just about 20 minutes left of daylight here, maybe 25, 30. And so we're all gonna put some venison in the freezer, and it's gonna be a successful weekend.
That was a nasty weekend facing Mother Nature's elements and all those nasty winds. Those exercise-specific workouts we did with Caleb definitely helped us stay more stable as we were trying to shoot those does. Make sure you tune in next week. Our postseason starts. We take you back outside of the gym for some more workouts, and we're gonna do some late season ice fishing.
Because in each of us lives a hunter, and in every hunter, an athlete. Run to Gun.